once you kind of understand that marketplace is a significant part, or should be a significant part of your strategy, the next question is, okay, so operationally, how do I make this happen? And there's two paths, really. You can decide to do it yourself, which some brands do. And these are some of the challenges that we hear from brands that come to us after trying to do it themselves, as opposed to using a company that sort of puts all of this on, all the operations on what we call autopilot. And so when you're looking to onboard to each new marketplace, typically, yeah, it's going to take 3 to 9 months, depending on the complexity of the brand, et cetera. But I've spoken to brands that have taken longer and some have taken shorter. But, this is a very expensive endeavor as well. Forrester estimates that the average cost of onboarding a new marketplace is about $16,000 for every week of implementation. And so if we calculate how many weeks are in 3 to 9 months, it's a very expensive endeavor. And we're just talking about one marketplace. If you're a brand and you want to go live on 5, 10, 15 marketplaces, it just quickly, the cost gets out of hand. And then once you're up and running on a marketplace, your job is unfortunately not done. You're going to have to upload every new product assortment, and that's fitting to the individual retailer's requirements. Every retailer has individual requirements, whether it's Saks, 24S, Harrods, Neiman's, as you mentioned, TikTok. Every single one has different requirements. And so when you're uploading new products, the images have to be reformatted, whether that's the file type, the background, the naming, the model and the photo. And so each retailer has their requirements, and that goes for products. It goes for images as well. And then once the orders start coming in, somebody is going to have to manage those orders, manually. They're going to have to process the orders and make changes to pricing and update their inventory. One of the challenges we hear specifically with brands that are doing this manually is that their inventory is not always up to date. And the problem is then you have two problems. You have one, risk of overselling. So the dreaded customer experience, if a customer buys a product that they want, and then it turns out that product's actually not in stock. And so they've oversold, and now they have to cancel the order, and they don't actually get the money that they were hoping to get. On the flip side, showing products that are out of stock when they're actually not out of stock because you're manually updating inventory and missed the sale. And so these are things that brands typically struggle with. And then the endless errors, because there always are going to be errors, and not knowing, is the error on my end, is it on the retailer end? Retailers are constantly changing their structure, their taxonomy, or other ways, so that the brands have to make changes all the time. It's not like once you've set it up, you're able to work with this retailer indefinitely. You have to be ready for their next update, and be able to make changes to the taxonomy. So those are the challenges that brands face, and that's really where we decided to focus as a business, is putting all of these operations on autopilot. So from products to images, pricing, inventory, returns, even financial reconciliation, all of that is done automatically, and we support 800 marketplaces. So it's pretty incredible that there are 800 marketplaces. There are, I think, actually more, but we currently support 800 and currently adding more. And so, for the brand, as I mentioned, such a quick way to get in front of millions or tens of millions of consumers, where otherwise, the cost of getting in front of them with ads or through wholesale is just so prohibitive.